What's up guys, Lon here from Android Authority, and we're here at IFA in Berlin taking a look at the Vibe P1, one of Lenovo's latest mid-range devices. And if battery life is your biggest concern when it comes to smartphones, the P1 puts a pretty big focus on that, which we'll get into in a sec. But starting with the design really quick, you're looking at an aluminum unibody design, which looks eerily familiar to an HTC One, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing because it is a good looking device with good build quality. It's also relatively compact in size and comfortable to use in the hand due to the tapered back. On the front is a 5.5-inch IPS LCD display with 1080p resolution, and so far it looks pretty good with great colors, sharpness, and brightness. And with 5.5 inches starting to become the norm for smartphone screen sizes, most people should be perfectly fine with this particular display. The phone is being powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 615, 2 GB of RAM with 32 GB of onboard storage with micro SD card expansion for up to an additional 128 GB. And if it's like many other mid-range smartphones being powered by the same chipset, then performance should generally be pretty good, and so far it does seem to be very snappy and responsive. Going around the device, you've got the buttons and ports in typical places like the 3.5mm headphone jack up top, speaker grills and micro USB port on the bottom, and power and volume keys on the right side. But one of the most notable pieces of hardware on the P1 is the built-in fingerprint scanner on the bottom, which is actually really great to see for a mid-range phone. It's a press and hold type, and setting it up is very similar to other fingerprint scanners where you just continue to press on the button until your fingerprint is completely captured, and once that is done, it's ready to be used. And from the short time that I got to try it out, it seemed to be just as fast and reliable as fingerprint scanners on more high-end devices like the Galaxy S6. So if you're into biometric security, then you'll enjoy the fingerprint sensor, and it's great to see Lenovo bringing a feature that you normally see on flagships down to a more affordable smartphone. For the battery, you're looking at a very large 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which does make the phone quite big in terms of its thickness. But if you're more concerned about battery life, then the extra thickness is going to be a fair trade-off. Another interesting feature with the P1 is the switch on the left side of the phone, and this is actually a battery life switch that switches the phone into a power saving mode, which Lenovo claims is supposed to double the battery life. It's a little bit unique and something we've never really seen before, but it is there to take advantage of anytime you want to extend the battery life even further. But hopefully the battery life is more than good enough that you won't have to rely on it all too often. Software-wise, you're looking at Android 5.1.1 with Lenovo's custom skin, and unlike the Fab Plus, it's a little bit more heavily customized with rounded squared off icons and just a colorful UI in general with a few more extra features. Also, if you're willing to give up a little bit of battery capacity for some splash-proof capabilities and a more plastic design, Lenovo has the P1M, which is a very similar phone but with slightly lowered specs. The P1 and P1M will be going for a price of $280 and $160 respectively, and will be available in the coming months, which is a great price for two phones that should be a beast in the battery life department. But that pretty much does it for this quick hands-on of the Vibe P1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and let us know what you guys think of the Vibe P1, and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. That button is also down below, and stay tuned for more of our IFA 2015 coverage. There's a lot more to come, and don't forget to check out the website as well, androidauthority.com, because we are your source for all things Android and IFA 2015.